All right, so today we're diving into ICT Network Administrator interviews, and we've got a whole stack of RoleCatcher resources to help you like really just crush it. Career guides, interview prep, even some AI insights.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, think of this deep dive as like your secret weapon to not just like answer the questions, but really impress those hiring managers.
Yeah, and you know what's fascinating about these interviews? They go beyond just like ticking off those technical boxes.
Mm.
They want to see how you think, how you solve problems, how you'd actually fit into their team.
Okay, so let's unpack that. First things first, what does an ICT network administrator actually do on a day-to-day basis?
So imagine you're like the conductor of an orchestra, but instead of instruments, you're managing LANs, WANs, intranets, like all the data flowing within a company. You're juggling routing protocols, firewalls, even smartphones these days. And you're making sure that everything is secure and humming along smoothly.
Yeah, that's a lot more diverse than I think a lot of people realize. So you're working with network engineers, system admins, even non-technical staff.
Exactly. You are the central hub. You're making sure that everyone stays connected and the data keeps flowing. Now, what's interesting is that RoleCatcher's analysis shows that most of these interviews actually hit on like the same key areas. So think of them as like levels you need to conquer, like in a video game.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So let's tackle those levels head on. Let's start with one of the top interview questions that RoleCatcher highlighted, and this is around network security protocols. So they might ask you something like, describe your experience with network security protocols.
Yeah, so this is your time to shine. Showcase your knowledge of SSL, IPsec, VPNs, all those acronyms that make data safe. But here's the trick. Don't just rattle off a list. You have to have a story ready about how you've actually implemented these protocols.
Oh, so instead of just saying, I know SSL,
Yeah.
I should talk about a specific project where I used it to say, secure a company's website.
Precisely paint a picture for them. Like, I implemented SSL certificates on our e-commerce site, which boosted customer trust and improved our SEO ranking. That's impact. Now, be ready for those follow-up questions. They might ask about like a specific security breach you handled, or how you stay updated on new threats.
And this is where I think RoleCatcher's AI can be like a total game changer. You can actually practice answering these questions on video. And the AI gives you feedback on your delivery, your content, even like your facial expressions. It's like having a personal interview coach.
Oh, it's invaluable, especially for those tricky follow-up questions. Let's move on to another common one. What is your experience with network monitoring tools?
Yes, the tools of the trade. Wireshark, Nagio, SolarWinds. Knowing these is important, right?
Absolutely. But interviewers are also looking for adaptability. Technology changes so rapidly, so they want to see that you're a quick learner.
So even if I haven't used a specific tool, I should show enthusiasm to learn it. Like, I'm eager to get my hands on SolarWinds, and I'm confident I can master it quickly.
Perfect. Now imagine they ask you something like, how do you handle network outages and disruptions? This is where you really shine as the calm problem solver.
Time to channel my inner Sherlock Holmes. So walk them through a real outage you've tackled step by step. Did you use traceroute to pinpoint the issue? Did you work with other teams to get systems back online?
Exactly. Specific examples are key. Now, virtualization technologies are a hot topic, so be prepared for questions like, what is your experience with virtualization technologies?
Okay, so VMware, Hyper-V, these are must-goes. But again, it's about showing, not just telling.
Right. Maybe you used virtualization to create like a testing environment for a new software rollout, or to improve resource allocation on a server. Even a small project can demonstrate your understanding.
What if my experience with virtualization is limited, though? Should I be upfront about that?
Honesty is always best. You can say something like, while my experience with specific technology is limited, I've been researching its applications and I'm a fast learner. And then you can highlight a related project that shows your ability to grasp new concepts quickly.
That's a good tip. And this is where I think RoleCatcher's career guides could be so helpful. They break down these complex topics and make them easy to understand.
Absolutely. And they also provide insights into things like salary trends and advancement paths. Which brings us to another question. How do you stay up to date with emerging technologies and trends in the ICT industry?
Oh, this is where my passion for the field shines. I can talk about the blogs I follow, the online courses I've taken, the conferences I'm dying to attend.
Exactly. Mention specific publications like Network World, maybe podcasts you listen to. Perhaps you're excited about the potential of SDN or the rise of edge computing. Show them that you're not just keeping up, but you're looking ahead.
Yeah, and this is where RoleCatcher's AI-powered CV and cover letter builder comes in. It analyzes job descriptions and suggests skills to highlight. keywords to use. It's like having a personal marketing team for your career.
It can make a huge difference in getting your application noticed. Now let's tackle a question about compliance. How do you ensure network compliance with industry and regulatory standards?
Ah, yes, the rules and regulations. PCI, DSS, APA, GDPR. Knowing these is crucial, but how do I show I've actually applied them?
Again, concrete examples. Did you implement a new security policy to comply with GDPR? Did you conduct vulnerability assessments to meet PCI DSS requirements? Walk them through the process step by step.
So I should be ready to discuss not just the what, but the HOW.
Precisely. Now, this next question is all about your problem-solving skills. Describe your experience with network troubleshooting.
Okay, this is my chance to be like the network detective. I'll talk about my go-to tools. Wireshark for packet sniffing, traceroute for mapping network paths, and my trusty command line tools for digging deeper.
Excellent. But remember, it's not just about the tools, it's about your process. So walk them through a challenging troubleshooting scenario. What steps did you take? What roadblocks did you encounter? How did you ultimately resolve the issue?
So even if I don't have tons of experience, I can show them I have a systematic approach to problem solving.
Exactly. Now let's shift gears to network performance and availability. They might ask you something like, how do you ensure network performance and availability?
Okay, so this is where I can highlight my proactive approach. I'll talk about using tools like Nagios or PRTG for performance monitoring, implementing load balancing to distribute traffic, and configuring QoS to prioritize critical applications.
Excellent. Be sure to mention specific actions you've taken to optimize performance, like tweaking configurations or upgrading hardware. Did you ever have to troubleshoot a performance bottleneck? How did you approach it?
Yeah, and this is where having a good understanding of the OSI model can come in handy.
Absolutely. It helps you pinpoint where in the network stack a problem might be occurring. Now, this next question is all about your design skills. Describe your experience with network design and implementation.
Our time to showcase my architectural prowess, so I'll talk about my understanding of different network topologies, like star bus mesh, and my experience with designing and implementing networks for small businesses, maybe even my home lab setup.
Remember to mention your proficiency with the TCP/IP protocol suite and your understanding of the OSI model. Did you ever have to design a network from scratch? What were the key considerations? How did you ensure scalability and security?
And if I haven't designed a large-scale network yet, I can still talk about my experience with smaller projects
Right.
and my eagerness to learn more about enterprise-level design principles, right?
Exactly. Now, this final question in this set is all about thinking strategically. How do you handle network capacity planning?
Okay, this is where I can demonstrate my foresight and planning skills.
Mm,
So we'll talk about analyzing network traffic patterns, identifying potential bottlenecks, and developing plans for future capacity upgrades.
excellent. Mention specific tools you've used for capacity planning, like SolarWinds Network Performance Monitor. Have you ever had to make a case for a capacity upgrade? How did you present your findings and recommendations to management?
Yeah, and this is where having strong communication skills is essential, both written and verbal. And RoleCatcher actually has an AI tool that analyzes your writing style and suggests improvements for clarity and conciseness.
Oh, it's an incredibly helpful tool, especially for crafting those professional emails and reports. So, we've tackled those tough technical questions, which is awesome. But remember, acing the interview is only the first step. Let's talk about what comes after you land that job.
Right, because this isn't just about getting hired, it's about building like a whole career.
Yeah.
So what kind of growth can you actually expect in the ICT network administration field?
That's where RoleCatcher's career guides really shine. They've actually mapped out like the typical career progression.
Ah,
And it's exciting stuff. Think of it like leveling up in that video game we were talking about earlier.
okay, I'm game. What's that first level?
So you usually start as a junior network administrator, and this is where you're really building your foundation, learning from more experienced pros, and getting hands-on with like all aspects of network management.
So like network boot camp, lots of learning, proving yourself.
Exactly. You might be monitoring network performance, troubleshooting some basic issues, configuring devices, providing tech support to users, all under the guidance of like senior team members.
And this is where those soft skills we mentioned really come into play. Being able to communicate clearly, work well with others, even under pressure.
Absolutely. Even as a junior admin, you're interacting with people from like all levels of the company. You need to be able to explain technical stuff in plain English, solve problems with patience, and be a team player.
All right, so I've rocked the junior admin role. I've gained some solid experience. What's the next level up?
So the natural progression is to become a full-fledged network administrator. Now you're taking on more responsibility, you're managing larger chunks of the network, and you're tackling more complex challenges.
Yeah, from apprentice to master. So
Yeah.
what kind of tasks would I be handling at that level?
You'll be deep in the trenches, configuring and maintaining network infrastructure, implementing security protocols, managing servers, ensuring that everything runs smoothly. You'll also be collaborating more closely with other IT pros, like network engineers and system admins.
So the teamwork aspect gets even bigger.
Absolutely. You're working together to design, implement, and manage the entire IT infrastructure of the company.
Now, for those ambitious folks who want to climb even higher, what's after a network administrator?
That would be the senior network administrator role. This is where your leadership skills really shine. You're mentoring junior admins, overseeing complex projects, and making strategic decisions about the future of the network.
So it's not just about managing what's there, it's about shaping what the network becomes.
Precisely. You're deeply involved in network design and implementation, security architecture, capacity planning, disaster recovery strategies. You become the go-to expert for all things network related.
Wow, that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Now, for those who dream big, who want to build networks from scratch, what's the ultimate career goal?
That would be the role of network architect. Think of it as like the architect of the digital world, designing and building these complex network infrastructures that meet a company's specific needs.
So you're not just working within an existing network, you're creating the blueprint for entirely new ones.
Exactly. Network architects work closely with business leaders, IT professionals, and vendors to create solutions that are scalable, secure, and reliable. They need a unique blend of technical expertise, business savvy, and creative vision.
Okay, so we've got these like 4 career stages mapped out.
Yeah.
But how do you actually make the jump from one level to the next? What are the keys to leveling up?
Continuous learning is the name of the game. The world of ICT is constantly evolving, with new technologies and security threats popping up all the time.
So how do you keep up with this like crazy pace of change?
It's a combination of formal education certifications and self-directed learning. Getting advanced degrees like a master's in network engineering or cybersecurity can give you like a solid theoretical base.
And certifications are like those badges of honor, proving that you've mastered specific skills.
Exactly. Certifications like the Cisco Certified Network Associate, CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Professional, CCNP, CompTIA Network Plus, and CompTIA Security Plus SOFI are highly valued by employers. They show that you're not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk.
And of course, there's no substitute for good old-fashioned hands-on experience.
Absolutely. Setting up a home lab, contributing to open source projects, participating in online communities, all of these things can give you valuable practical experience that you can showcase to potential employers.
Right, it's like showing them you're not just reading the game manual, you're actually playing the game.
Exactly. And to level up your credibility even further, consider getting certified. For entry-level roles, the CompTIA Network Plus is a great starting point. It validates your general networking knowledge and demonstrates your commitment to the field.
Okay, so I've conquered that first level.
Yeah.
I'm a network administrator gaining experience. How do I prepare for that next promotion?
So this is where specialization comes in. Maybe you're drawn to network security. You love the challenge of keeping data safe from cyber threats.
So I dive deeper into firewalls, intrusion prevention systems, ethical hacking, all those cool tools and techniques that security professionals use.
Exactly. Or perhaps cloud computing is your passion. You're fascinated by the power of platforms like AWS and Azure, and you want to understand concepts like network virtualization and SDN.
At this level, I'm not just keeping the network running. I'm optimizing it, securing it, maybe even designing parts of it.
Precisely. And to showcase your advanced skills, certifications become even more important. Look into the CCNA Cisco Certified Network Associate. It's highly respected in the industry and shows a solid understanding of Cisco networking technologies, which are used by many companies worldwide.
All right, let's talk about that senior network administrator role, that leadership position. What skills and certs do I need to reach that level?
So this is where you combine like deep technical expertise with strong leadership qualities. You need to understand the intricacies of the network and be able to guide a team manage projects and communicate effectively with everyone, from tech-savvy engineers to non-technical managers.
So you're the mentor, the strategist, the one who keeps everything running smoothly and solves those really tricky problems.
Exactly. For this level, the CCNP Cisco Certified Network Professional is a valuable asset. It showcases advanced routing and switching knowledge security expertise and the ability to design and implement complex network solutions.
And finally, that ultimate gold network architect. What does it take to reach the top of the mountain?
This is where you need that big picture thinking, the ability to envision and create entire network ecosystems. You need a deep understanding of network design principles, security architecture capacity planning, and all those emerging technologies that are constantly reshaping the digital landscape.
So it's like being an architect in the real world. But instead of buildings, you're designing digital highways for data.
Perfect analogy. And to validate your expertise at this level, certifications like the CCIE Cisco Certified Internetwork Expert or the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Professional can really make your resume stand out.
Those certifications are like earning a black belt in networking. They show you've mastered the most complex concepts
Yeah,
and can handle the toughest challenges.
exactly. But certifications are just one piece of the puzzle. Networking in the professional sense is equally important. Attend industry events, join online forums, connect with people on LinkedIn, build relationships, learn from others, and find mentors who can guide you on your journey.
It's all about expanding your network, both literally and figuratively.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And don't be afraid to start small. Even an internship or a part-time help desk role can give you valuable experience and open doors to future opportunities.
And this is where RoleCatcher comes in again. Their AI-powered platform can analyze your resume, suggest improvements, and even help you practice your interview answers, giving you personalized feedback to boost your confidence.
It's like having a personal career coach in your pocket, guiding you every step of the way.
All right, so we've covered those career paths, the essential skills, but let's get tactical here. How do you actually land that ICT Network Administrator job? Let's break it down lever by level, just like in our video game analogy.
I like where you're going with this. So for someone aiming for that entry-level junior network administrator position, building a solid foundation is crucial. Think of it as mastering those basic moves before you can pull off those fancy combos.
Okay, so what are those essential moves for a junior admin?
You absolutely need to understand the fundamentals of networking. The OSI model, which is like the blueprint for how networks actually communicate. TCP/IP, the language of the internet. You'll need to know subnetting, how to divide a network into smaller chunks, and routing protocols like OSPF and BGP, which determine how data travels across networks.
Wow, those are some heavy-hitting concepts. Any advice for making them easier to grasp?
RoleCatcher skill guides are a lifesaver here. They break down these complex topics into bite-sized pieces, using clear language and helpful visuals. They even have practice quizzes to test your knowledge.
Oh, that's helpful. And don't forget about security. Even as a junior admin, you need to know how to keep those networks safe from those pesky hackers.
Absolutely. Firewalls, VPNs, intrusion detection systems. You need to understand the basics of how these security tools work and how to actually implement them.
So much to learn. But hands-on experience is equally important, right?
Couldn't agree more. Set up a home lab experiment with different operating systems like Linux. Tinker with virtualization software like VMware or VirtualBox, even if you haven't had a formal job yet. These personal projects show employers that you're proactive and passionate.
It's like showing them you're not just reading the game manual, you're actually playing the game.
Exactly. And to level up your credibility even further, consider getting certified. For entry-level roles, the CompTIA Network Plus is a great starting point. It validates your general networking knowledge and demonstrates your commitment to the field.
Okay, so I've conquered that first level. I'm a network administrator gaining experience. How do I prepare for that next promotion?
So this is where specialization comes in. Maybe you're drawn to network security. You love that challenge of keeping data safe from cyber threats.
Right, so I dive deeper into firewalls, intrusion prevention systems, ethical hacking, all those cool tools and techniques that security professionals use.
Exactly. Or perhaps cloud computing is your passion. You're fascinated by the power of platforms like AWS and Azure, and you want to understand concepts like network virtualization and SDN.
At this level, I'm not just keeping the network running. I'm optimizing it, securing it, maybe even designing parts of it.
Precisely. And to showcase your advanced skills certifications become even more important. Look into the CCNA Cisco Certified Network Associate. It's highly respected in the industry and shows a solid understanding of Cisco networking technologies, which are used by many companies worldwide.
Okay, let's talk about that senior network administrator role, the leadership position. What skills and certs do I need to reach that level?
So this is where you combine deep technical expertise with strong leadership qualities. You need to understand the intricacies of the network A&D, be able to guide a team, manage projects, and communicate effectively with everyone, from tech-savvy engineers to non-technical managers.
So you're like the mentor, the strategist, the one who keeps everything running smoothly and solves those really tricky problems.
Exactly. For this level, the CCNP Cisco Certified Network Professional is a valuable asset. It showcases advanced routing and switching knowledge security expertise, and the ability to design and implement complex network solutions.
And finally, that ultimate goal, network architect. What does it take to reach like the top of the mountain?
This is where you need that big picture thinking. The ability to envision and create entire network ecosystems. You need a deep understanding of network design principles, security architecture, capacity planning, and all those emerging technologies that are constantly reshaping the digital landscape.
So it's like being an architect in the real world. But instead of buildings, you're designing digital highways for data.
Perfect analogy. And to validate your expertise at this level, certifications like the CCIE Cisco Certified Internetwork Expert or the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Professional can really make your resume stand out.
Those certifications are like earning a black belt in networking. They show you've mastered the most complex concepts and can handle the toughest challenges.
Exactly. But certifications are just one piece of the puzzle. Networking in the professional sense is equally important. Attend industry events, join online forums, connect with people on LinkedIn, build relationships, learn from others, and find mentors who can guide you on your journey.
All about expanding your network, both literally and figuratively.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And don't be afraid to start small. Even an internship or a part-time help desk role can give you valuable experience and open doors to future opportunities.
And this is where RoleCatcher comes in again. Their AI-powered platform can analyze your resume, suggest improvements, and even help you practice your interview answers, giving you personalized feedback to boost your confidence.
It's like having a personal career coach in your pocket guiding you every step of the way.
So we've mapped out the skills, the certifications, the networking strategies, but here's the most important piece of advice. Never stop learning. The ICT landscape is constantly changing, so you need to be adaptable, curious, and always eager to expand your knowledge.
That's the key to not just surviving, but thriving in this exciting field. Embrace new technologies, explore online courses, stay up to date with industry publications, make continuous learning a part of your career journey.
So what does this all mean? You're not just prepped for an interview. You're prepped for a dynamic and rewarding career in ICT network administration.
And with the right mindset, the right skills, and the right tools like RoleCatcher, you can achieve anything you set your mind to.
This deep dive was just the beginning. Now it's time to take action. Explore your options and start building your own path to success. We're excited to see where your journey takes you from